Hello everyone, that manga kid here to do the Q&A video that I promised after I hit 1,000 subscribers. Thank you to everybody who did submit questions, and then just a quick introduction since I deleted the video where I asked for questions. My name is Ethan, I am 23 years old currently, and I do live in Canada, for those of you who did not know. I got a lot of questions to get through, so I'm just going to start. The first is from Noah Miller, and it's what series are you looking into collecting next? I'm really excited to collect Ping Pong by Taiyo Matsumoto. I just haven't yet because it hasn't gone on sale. As well as Again by Mitsuru Kubo. I have a few random volumes, but I haven't been able to start it because I don't have volume 1. But I'm very excited to read it when I do, and it's on my list of things like this year that I really, really want to complete. The next few are from Shay Geeks Out. What series on your shelf is the most underrated? I've got Supply by Mari Okazaki. This is a really good josei series about this working woman who just feels underappreciated at work, overworked, can't find a man who isn't an asshole, and just is trying real hard. I love the artwork. Unfortunately, it was never finished. It's by Tokyo Pop. There's 5 volumes out of the 10 volumes in Japan that were printed in English. 3 plus the 4th one is a 2-in-1 omnibus of volumes 4 and 5. It's really good. I love it. I don't think enough people know about it or have read it, unfortunately, but it's a really good josei series. The other one is Kingyo Used Books, and this is by Seimu Yoshizaki. It's put out by Viz. Again, another incomplete one. This only has 4 volumes out. There's quite a few in Japan, and it's about a used manga bookstore and they're little like vignettes about people who come across this manga bookstore and either rediscover or discover manga for the first time or are manga fans already. And it's just about people who love manga or are learning to love manga, and their love of it. And so as a manga fan, I wonder why not more people have picked this up. And then the fun thing is, like, in the back, any of the manga that's referenced has full like page information about the manga in it, which is a lot of fun. The next question that Shay asked is, what manga is one you think everybody should read? That would be Little Miss P by Ken Koyama. This is by Yen Press. Fantastic. So funny, so normalizing. It's about an anthropomorphized period who visits women and just torments them. It's got, older women, younger women, girls getting their period for the first time. The art is adorable, and it's just short stories. It's so funny and really, really wonderful and charming. There is another one coming out soon-ish, but it's great. I do have a review on my channel of this one, and in that I did say that everybody should be reading this. The next question from Shay is, who are my top 3 favorite MangaTube content creators? Shay, you are one of them, so Shay Geeks Out, Mama Loves Manga, and Manga Hoarder. I find that our tastes align decently, but I also, like, you all read stuff that I don't read, that I learn about, and I enjoy the openness of, talking about smutty manga and talking about just different things that not other people are talking about. And then with Manga Hoarder, I mean, I just really, really enjoy Laura's content. And she kind of like opened my eyes to alternative manga and a bunch of other series that just I would have never heard of otherwise. Shay's next question is, what series are you looking forward to adding to your collection? Early 2021, I believe, another Takako Shimura work is getting licensed. It's called Even Though We're Adults. I think it's just a girls' love story, but obviously it's adult women. Can't remember what the whole premise is off the top of my head right now, but I'm excited. I love Takako Shimura. Always up for one of their works. Next Jacob Tony asks, what are my favorite and least favorite genres of manga to buy? I love anything ridiculously bizarre, anything zany, wacky, alternative or otherwise. I really, really enjoy being shocked. I enjoy being surprised. I enjoy being thrown off by either out there artwork or stories or anything like that. I love romance. Anything with romance, I want to read it. Least favorite, I don't like just like action battle series. If it doesn't have anything else to offer, I don't like the character types. I don't like the repetitiveness. Sometimes it's nice to kind of turn your brain off and just like read stuff like that. But for the most part, if it doesn't have something else to offer, I just don't enjoy pure action series. I just tend to avoid them. Carl Collins asks, any upcoming manga I'm looking to get? There is a series called Love Me for Who I Am by Kata Konoyama that I believe is about a non-binary teenager working in a cafe or something like that. And it's kind of a romance, I think. I've only seen one review on it. I came across it online by accident and was like, oh, look at that. Okay, sure. It's definitely something I'm going to pick up, at least the first volume of. Sounds interesting. Sounds up my alley, so I guess we'll see. And Abraham asks, which manga or BL series has the best representation of a person from the LGBTQ plus community, in my opinion? My favorite is always Wandering Sun or Horomusuko by Takako Shimura. What I love about it is that it follows these children from age 10 all the way up into their college years. So you really get to see how gender identity plays into these kids' lives. It explores transgender kids. It explores kids who are just gender variant and experimenting with their gender presentation. It does kind of go into gay issues a bit as well. But I love it because if you've ever questioned your place in gender, I think that manga will resonate with you in some way. Because even if you're not trans yourself, there are characters who aren't trans but are still experimenting with gender presentation and gender expression and what that means to them. And I think it's such an important conversation. And it's just really well done because, like I said, you watch these kids grow up and you watch their families grow with them and you watch their respective girlfriends or boyfriends dealing with what's going on, and it's all so interesting and well done, and always will hold a special place in my heart. The other one is Our Dreams at Dusk, which everybody talks about. Wonderful representation of tons of different identities. Short and sweet at 4 volumes. Horomusuko is like 15 volumes, or Wandering Sun. Only 8 were published in English, but this one's a nice short and sweet one if you want like a good, really good representation. Next question by Migeru Tostu. Sorry if I mispronounce your usernames. Which company has the best and worst physical volume quality? Worst, hands down, I do not like Tokyo Pop releases. They publish wonderful things, but I can never read them because the fonts they use are horrible to read. The font sizes are almost impossible. I do not have good eyesight, and sometimes I use my phone and like zoom in on my camera to try and read what's in these pages, and like they're always so busy and in the margins and everything is just a mess and it's so hard to read, and I don't know why. Why can you not publish something that people can actually read? It's frustrating. It drives me nuts. Even their newer stuff, like I have Don't Call Me Dirty, which I don't know where it is on my shelf, but oh, there it is. Right next to me. Even this is like, it's kind of faded and it's better, but it's still not as good as like some other companies. I don't understand you're printing something for people to read, yet you're making it very difficult to read it. It just annoys me because I really like some of the series that they published, but they're hard to read, physically hard to read for me. Best, I love Fantagraphics books publications. This is like a soft, it's not a hardcover, but it's like a hard soft cover. The pages are always super, super like crisp and white, and they usually do oversized like this, so you really get to enjoy the art. There's nothing in the margins because they make sure the art is out of the margins, so you're not like trying to open the book too wide to see what's going on. And here's another one too. They do a lot of hardcovers. It's Nijigahara Holograph. Yeah, they just publish really well. They're very expensive, but they publish very well. They're very nice quality books. The next question they asked was, how am I enjoying Bungo Stray Dogs? I've currently read up to volume 13 of Bungo Stray Dogs. I love it. It's so funny. It's wacky and zany, and the action is really well done. You can always tell what's happening. It's all the characters are based on literary or historical literary figures, and it is so funny. I like books, and so it's fun to read about all these, characters based on famous historical authors. And then you also get like author featurettes at the end of the volumes, which I really like as well. I don't really want to show you art from here in case there's any spoilers or anything, but I think there's like 15 or 16 volumes out right now. I really got to get more, but I love it. It's so much fun. Next question, will I ever do a manga collection video? I have tried. My collection has gotten a little bit out of control. Everything, like it's, my bookshelf is from literally the floor all the way up to my ceiling. And it's from wall to wall, and it's all double stacked. And I've tried filming, but it's very difficult. Because I can't hold the books up to see the books behind it and try and hold my camera at the same time and stand on my couch to try and get my arm up high enough to see the top couple shelves. It's just very difficult. Not at this time. If I ever get a setup with my books where it's not this ridiculously difficult, then yes, I would love to do another collection video, but I can't right now, unfortunately. Joy Waves asks, where do I get my manga recommendations from? Because they see stuff on my channel that they've just never even heard of. I do a lot of research. I do watch a ton of manga creators on YouTube. If you've done a haul video, I have probably seen it. I put everything on double speed and I just like zip through videos. I look at all like when people do releases on their radar videos, any video where you're showing off a bunch of manga at one time, I'm watching it because I want to know what's coming out, when it's coming out, what people are buying, where to get it. And I also search, when I'm purchasing manga, I search by publisher and I search by authors as well. So if there's a creator that I enjoy, I'm going to search them up on various different sites that I buy manga from. And then if there's something they have out that I've never heard of or I don't own, then I'm going to buy it. And I find searching by publisher, especially some of those smaller publishers that I really enjoy, like Drawn and Quarterly, Fantagraphics, Ponentmon, searching by those smaller publishers, you find a lot of hidden gems that you wouldn't have necessarily heard of. And then searching by, also like on Amazon, especially, if you find one alternative manga, you go down to the recommended or people also bought this and you find so many more that you wouldn't have heard of otherwise. And I keep a very extensive list of things I want. If I hear of a title, it's going on my list of things, that I want if it's something I'm interested in, obviously. And so even if I can't get it right now because it's out of print or whatever, I keep an eye on everything to see what stuff comes back into print, and then it also kind of, when I go thrift shopping, which I do all the time, not so much anymore, obviously like things closed down, but when I was going thrift shopping every couple of days, I would find stuff I had never heard of and I'd just buy it because if it's $1 or $2, why not add it to my collection and see what it's about? I'm a very eclectic collector, so I'm not very picky. And yeah, if I hear about it and it sounds remotely interesting, then I want to check it out. The next question is, have I considered learning Japanese for a better understanding of the culture in anime and manga? Yes, but I'm very lazy. Learning a language requires a lot of persistent upkeep and motivation, and I do not have that. I am busy and always have an excuse about why I can't do things like that. Yeah, I've considered relearning French because we had to take French in school. I've considered relearning how to read French because there's a lot more manga published in French than there is in English. And I have very seriously considered learning French just to be able to read and access more manga. But Japanese is something so outside of my realm of any other language that I've ever had to study, that it's a commitment, and I am not currently in the mood to make that commitment, but I would like to. Next question is, do I keep all of the series that I complete? Yes, I keep every series that I've ever purchased. I have it still. I've never gotten rid of a manga unless it was a double. Yeah, maybe one day if my collection gets way too out of control and I just don't like certain things anymore and want to get rid of them, but at this point I've kept everything that I've purchased. CC asks, who is my favorite mangaka? I really, really love Taiyo Matsumoto. I love his art. I love his stories. This is Sunny, which is about some orphans living in a group home. I just find his series to be very hard-hitting. I love his art style. Yeah, I really, really like Taiyo Matsumoto, and then I also really like Natsume Ono. Again, very distinct art style. The stories are sometimes there are a lot of like slice of life kind of stories. There are some that are very hard hitting as well emotionally. And I just really, really, really like it. Yeah, but Taiyo Matsumoto and Natsume Ono, I own a lot of their works and have enjoyed all of them. So that's why I chose those two. There are a lot of other mangaka that I was like, oh, I gotta add them. But I went with those two for now. If you ask me tomorrow, my answer might be different. The next question was, what manga surprised me the most or took an unexpected turn? If you want a more kind of relevant title, Astro Lost in Space is a 5-volume Viz series. Very good. I read it on the Shonen Jump app, and I now own the first 3 volumes because it was that good. I will get the final 2 at some point. This one took me for a very fun ride and lots of twists and turns, some of which I was kind of expecting. One in particular I was not expecting at all. Yeah, very, very good. Fun, nice art, great character development, great characters for such a short series. But yeah, it's a fun one about a space adventure, travel, mystery. Yeah, it's great. It's great. The other one that is far less accessible is Monster Minbari Lullaby. This is an alternative manga. I have done a review of this. It is ridiculous. The part that surprised me is that I actually enjoyed it. It is about this man who gives birth to a little sperm kid through some radioactive accident. And the surprise was that I actually kind of fell in love with the little sperm kid and enjoyed their existence. And I can't open this and show you anything. It's disgusting. But yeah, because the first few chapters and everything are just awful. They're so horrible. The whole story is horrible. But the fact that I actually enjoyed this little sperm dude's existence and was like, oh, you're such a sweetheart, was shocking to me. But I do have a review of this on my channel if you're interested in learning more about that. Next question was, is there anything you'd like to see in comics, graphic novels, and manga in the future? I like series that kind of blur the lines between demographics, blur the lines between genres. I like series that go, that dabble in all of the different things. I want something that has action and romance and a really good story with really good character development but still, and like may have some queer characters or whatever. Like I just want stuff that just kind of doesn't focus too strongly on, oh, this is a shonen or this is a shoujo or, this is specifically an action series or specifically, whatever. I like the blurring of kind of demographics and genres all kind of mixed together because I do like reading all kinds of things. And when a singular story has all of those kind of elements, it makes me happy. And it's not that we don't have those kind of stories already, but I'd like to see more. Next, Nay asks, how long have I been collecting manga? About 11 years. How many volumes do I own? Currently, my spreadsheet tells me I have about 1,610 volumes. And I believe, my spreadsheet is up to date. So that would be how many are in my collection currently. But I did just get 2 new books about an hour ago. And so there's 2 more to that number. And then what do I think of the omnibuses, specifically those Viz 3-in-1s? I like omnibuses. I think it's a very cost-effective way to collect, especially those Viz 3-in-1s for series that are longer and you're more just like, I want to own it, I want to read it, but I don't want to pay so much for it. Those 3-in-1s are fine. If you are somebody who is not careful with books, if you're somebody who is more rough with books, don't get the 3-in-1s because you're going to be disappointed. You're going to wreck them and you're going to be mad at the publisher for publishing a crappy quality manga when really it's just you're not taking care of your books. I have a lot of those Viz 3-in-1s for some shoujo series. And I've read them multiple times through, and the books still look like they're in brand new condition. My sister's currently reading High School Debut, which I have in the 3-in-1s, and she is not a careful person, but I have instilled in her that if she damages my books, she needs to replace them. And so she's been doing fine with them too. And I think, especially like a lot of people talk about like these Dark Horse Gantz volumes, these really thick 3-in-1s, which again, I've read these and I haven't cracked the spine. I haven't damaged them in any way. Like you read more carefully. It's if you're somebody who knows that you damage books, don't get the omnibuses if you have the option to get the singles, but because you're just going to be disappointed. But I am very careful with how I read and I like cost-effective options, and so I will get omnibuses when I can. That Daniels asks, do I make videos for my audience or just because I like making them? A little bit of both. I mean, I started because I like talking about manga. I like sharing my thoughts on manga, but I don't have a lot of friends who read manga. So I didn't really have anybody to talk to any of this about. And then, as people started commenting on my videos and saying that my review helped or whatever, like it is a good feeling to know that people see my videos as helpful or informative or entertaining or whatever. The next question was, will I be changing how I make videos now that my channel is growing? Not at this time. I don't edit videos because if I have to edit them, I will not make them. I am not a technologically savvy person. I'm really busy. I work, I volunteer a lot, and I make videos the way that I do because I enjoy making them, and hopefully you're okay with the lack of editing and not fancy intros and all that kind of stuff, because if I have to do that, I will not make them. I will put it off, I will procrastinate. The action of actually uploading the video after I film it is enough for me to put off uploading videos, which is why I film tons of them at one time, upload all of them, and schedule them so I don't have to worry about it. I schedule like months of videos in advance. I think I'm already at the end of August into September now with the videos I've already filmed. and have uploaded on my channel, but I just have them private until I have them scheduled. Least amount of effort. That is what I'm going for. I did buy a microphone because a lot of people said they couldn't hear me when I was talking. So hopefully this has made it better audio quality. But I don't want to put a lot of money into this. It's a hobby. It's not something I make money on. It's not something I'm looking to make money on. Yeah, if it becomes too much of a hassle, I will not do it. And therefore, I will continue how I'm doing it for now. And if nobody wants to watch, then I guess that's when I'll stop. But yeah. Mirai Rose asks, my top 5 favorite manga series. This took me forever, and I kept changing it, and then I stopped changing it when, you know what, we're just going to stick with this. If you ask me tomorrow, the answer will be different. But, and this is in no particular order, I really love Parasite by Hitoshi Iwaki. Great horror series with romance and action and political drama, and it's so good. I really, really love it. Also, Flowers of Evil by Shuzo Oshimi. I've read it so many times. Again, it's got some romance, it's got drama, it's got, deals with mental health issues and talks about what it means to be, like, what perversion is and what that really means, and coming of age story with wonderful art. I've talked about this numerous times on my channel. We Were There by Yuki Obata. It's just a really nostalgic shoujo for me. It's a drama. It's sad. I love the art, even though it's very kind of different. I really do love the art. And my channel, like, picture is Yano from We Were There. It's one that I just can't get out of my head. I know it's not fantastic, and I really shouldn't, I wouldn't recommend this to people who don't like shoujo, and I wouldn't really recommend it now, but I love it. I really, really love it. And if you like shoujo, read it, but it's not mind-blowing. I just really love it for some reason. Another one is a bit of a newer one, Cross Game by Mitsuru Adachi. Baseball, family, friends, romance, tragedy. It's so good. This is one that I read last year and collected last year. It's a newer kind of acquisition in my collection that I just fell in love with immediately. And then Aka, 13 Territory Inspection Department by Natsume Ono. Political, intrigue, wonderful world building, really interesting, awesome art, as always, from Natsume Ono. Really cute characters, calming slice of life, but also, like, there's an urgency to the story because it is a political drama. Yeah, fantastic. Next question from Lauren Evat. If I'm trying to get a friend into manga, what series would I recommend to start with? Go for it, Nakamura by Sunday. One shot, boys love, not at all explicit, cute, first love, crush, sort of nervousness. It's adorable. I did actually purchase a copy of this for my friend for his birthday earlier this year. It's one I've been recommending to my friends who don't read manga, and I have, like I said, bought it for a friend of mine who doesn't normally read manga, because I think it's adorable and cute and very easy kind of intro to manga in a cute, fun way. Miley Wildfang asks, besides manga, what other activities do I enjoy? I love thrift store shopping. I love clothing. I have a lot of clothing. I also make miniatures. This is one that I made a couple years ago, so it's kind of falling apart a little bit. This was the first attempt at, like, a little miniature house that I made. And the inside, there's a bathroom, little living room. Some of the stuff is falling apart because I was more learning about the materials, and now I know what stuff does not last. But it's mostly out of recycled materials, and yeah, it's a little house that I made there. And then I am currently, this has been a project ongoing for about a year and a bit now, a year and a half or so. It is huge. I will try and get it in the frame. You've probably seen it sort of in the background of some of my videos. This is a giant like tree stump house that I've been working on. It's kind of like a paper mache sort of situation. And inside is the kitchen, the study, library situation, and then the bedroom isn't done. I've only done a bed in there, but I'm still working on it. It's also all lit up. I have like a light source that I weaved through it and it turns on. And then the outside of it I haven't finished yet either. There's a balcony, and then the top bit, which you can't really see, has grass on the top too that I'm going to put like a seating area and whatnot. But this has taken over a year to build and it is not done yet. But I build miniatures like that for fun, and just kind of got into that randomly. And then, yeah, I read, I volunteer with various queer organizations in my city. Yeah, kind of a bizarre mix of things that I'm into. Next question is, do I collect things besides manga? I collect a lot of random little trinkets and things. They're all over my bedroom. When people come in here, there's like little creatures and stuff hiding everywhere that I've purchased mostly from thrift stores or made, or somebody's made for me. Yeah, clothing. I do consider my clothing a collection because I have way too much to be considered practical. Yeah. What manga makes me laugh? That would be for sure High School Debut. It is so funny. It's by Kazune Kawahara. This is one of those Viz 3-in-1s I was talking about earlier. Kazune Kawahara, who also did the story for My Love Story, not the art, has a very funny attitude towards shoujo. The art in this one is also by Kazune Kawahara, so you can see it's very different from My Love Story, but I still like it. It is so funny. It's about this sporty softball girl who gets into high school and is like, I'm going to have my high school debut, I'm going to get a boyfriend, it is going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. But she just is all the things all at once. She's got all the fashion magazines and put on all the clothing and the makeup that she thinks is right, but it doesn't fit her body type. She doesn't know what she's doing. So she finds a love coach, this popular older boy who is grumpy. And of course, his one stipulation, don't fall in love with me. They fall in love immediately and start dating. And it is ridiculously funny hijinks, adorable chemistry between the two of them. I love it. It makes me laugh out loud every time. I think I've read it like 6 times. The next question is from Toby Harris. Do I have a favorite Tezuka manga? Of what I've read, MW, I really like. It's about a serial killer. Very well done. I haven't read a ton of Tezuka, but I've read a few, and MW is certainly my favorite of the ones I've read. Bizarre Individual asks, if I had to rip up a manga, which would it be? That would be In the End. This is horrible. This is the worst thing I've ever read. Sorry to the creators of this, but it is awful. I picked it up because I thought, well, I found it for like $1, but I liked the art. The story, I don't know if it's the translation that's just terrible, or it's probably a mix of both. But it's just so overly angsty and horrible. It's a BL title about this abusive older man who's dating this kid he found in the subway. And it's just awful. It's really, really awful. Yeah, I would not feel bad ripping that one up if I had to. If I could write a manga, what would it be? What would the premise be? I'm not very creative with coming up with things, so it would probably just be ridiculous short stories about my daily life. I am often told that I live in a sitcom because of the ridiculous things that happen to me at work and in my volunteer roles, and just in general, people I come across in public. I have some very ridiculous stories about random encounters with people that other people find funny. So it would probably be something along the lines of that. On average, how many hours do I spend reading manga per week? About 7 hours. I mean, I read anywhere between 20 and like 70 volumes of manga a month. But typically I'm in that 40, 50, 60 volume range per month. So I read about 7 hours a week or so. Onyx asks, how long is my TBR? It's currently about 90 volumes long. That's only volumes that I can read, because I have a lot of volumes of random things that are like volume 10 of something that I can't read. But in terms of things that I have that I can actually read right now, about 90 volumes, which is not bad when you think I have 1,600. Judas asks, do I have a favorite yaoi or BL series? I really, really, really love, I've talked about all of these before. I love Jackass by Scarlet Barrico. So good. It's very, very good. I really like Classmates by Asamiko Nakamura. Very cute. And then I also really am loving Candy Color Paradox by Isaku Natsume. This is only 4 volumes out so far. Very good, about adult working men. No problematic behavior up to this point. Love it. Mully Boom asks, have I read any comics, graphic novels from outside of Japan, and what are my favorites? I've read, this is by John Clark. It's a 3-issue comic series called Thin. It's a horror, obviously. Very good. I bought this randomly and I really, really loved it. It's disturbing, it's gross, but it's excellent. And then I bought this at Goodwill once. It's called In the Flesh by Corinne Shadmi. And I've been meaning to pick up more stuff by this creator because this was really good. It's a short story collection. Most of them are, it has an alternative manga vibe to me. I really liked it. It's obviously sexual in nature, but it's not like pornographic in that way. It's very much disturbing kind of stories. But very good. I enjoyed it. And then they also just wanted to know more about me and kind of my life in general. I work in kind of a public sort of job, and can't really get too much into it, but I enjoy what I do. I love my job. I enjoy going to work every day. Unfortunately, working from home is a very different situation. So I look forward to the day when I can get back to my actual job and, get back working with the people that I love to work with and helping the community. And then I also volunteer with a lot of queer organizations in my general area. I run groups, like support groups and discussion groups. I do like workshops and stuff in the public. I do public speaking, not as much anymore, but I used to do a lot of public speaking about my own kind of life story, and as well as like sexual health demonstrations and education. So I do a lot of that kind of stuff in my free time, which I really enjoy. It's a nice way to connect with my community and kind of give back. But yeah, Mr. Sushi 22 asks, what are my thoughts on digital manga? I think it's great. I mean, for like the legally published digital manga, I don't personally read a lot of it. I did recently, a couple months ago, get the Shonen Jump app finally, because I just went, you know what, I'm going to do it. I'm going to see what it's about. It's going to be fine. And I'm enjoying that. I prefer reading physical manga, but it's nice to try out series on the app. I don't purchase any digital manga, like single volume digital manga, because I can't justify that money. Mark82 asked, do I only read manga or also Western comics? I did show a couple American comics just a second ago. I don't really read them often. I don't enjoy, especially like superhero stuff. That's not my thing. But I do read like Korean manhwa as well as some random other graphic novels. Do I have any manga from the 70s that I hope gets translated? Not technically from the 70s because it started in 1979, but Area 88. I would love for this to get published. Mostly it's from the 80s, but yeah, this is one that I would love to see in a newer release. RT asks, any series I regret not picking up before it went out of print? Volume or Omnibus 2 of Kurosagi Corpse Delivery Service. I am so mad at myself because I bought a bundle, or I bought like 1 to 4, and then Volume 2, I guess they didn't actually have it in the warehouse when I ordered it, and so they canceled my order, and I can't find Volume or Omnibus 2, which means I've only been able to read Omnibus 1, and now I have the other Volumes 3 and 4 that I can't read. And I sat on that one for so long, and I'm really mad at myself for doing that. Eden, It's an Endless World is another one that I own the first 3 of that I really wish I could get the rest of. And then Heart of Thomas by Moto Hagio. That was one I watched forever, and I was like, I kind of want it, and it's fine. No, I don't really want it. And then, of course, it goes out of print, and of course I want it now. Nazru L asks, how did I get into collecting? I don't remember. I was a child. I think I had money because I was a kid, and I had allowance, and I just went, oh, I've been watching Naruto. I'll go buy a volume of Naruto. And then it just kind of spun out of control from there. And I just started buying random things at the bookstore. And that's kind of how it all happened. Unknown asks, how old am I? I am 23. I will be 24 in October. Wow, I did not... Oh, Miss Soda Popstar. Wow, I wrote that horribly. Do I read anything besides manga? Yes, I do read novels. I like novels. I used to read like 3 or 4 novels a week when I was younger. And I don't read that much anymore. I only read a few novels a year now, which is unfortunate. But I have been trying to read more novels because I really enjoy it. But yeah. I mean, I do read a lot online too. Like, I read a lot of articles and things, but manga's kind of taken over, and I don't have the attention span I used to. And I find that when I try to read novels now, I'm just like, oh my god, can we get a move on? I don't have an attention span anymore, which is unfortunate. That is all of the questions. So thank you for all of you who have asked questions for this video. Hopefully this was entertaining. I know it is very long, but yeah, I am happy to do this again if folks want me to do it again. Like I mentioned in the video that I posted asking for questions, I am horrible at responding to comments. Horrible at it. I read them all. I enjoy them all. I thank you all for leaving comments, and I continue to encourage you to do so, but I'm horrible at responding. I don't like typing things. Like, I don't think that I find it hard to communicate through text. I prefer to verbally kind of communicate, and so comments are difficult, but I like reading them, and I enjoy when you leave comments. So thank you to all of you that do. Yeah, and thank you again to the 1,000 subscribers. I hope you continue to enjoy watching my content. If you have any suggestions, recommendations, as always, please leave them below. And yeah, thank you for watching. See ya.